Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you are tuning into this broadcast. It's Issues, Coach Ish, whatever you want to call me. Let's talk some boxing. Um, ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus David Benevidez. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I'm excited about this fight. Here are the reasons why. First of all, I like both of these fighters. I like both of these fighters. David Benevidez, I like David Benevidez. I like his attitude. He's a monster. He's a killer, right? I mean, not necessarily the monster part. That's more the media, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He is a monster, but I like him because he's a killer. He's about business. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like to rumble. I like that. You know what I'm saying? He like to rumble. I like that. You know what I mean? He want the smoke. I like that. I like his style. Uh, Big guy, walk you down, a lot of pressure, throws a lot of punches. You know what I'm saying? He does really well. He does exceptional. What I one of the things that I train my students to do in the gym, I got a drill called non-stop combination. So for one round, you just let your hands go. You know what I'm saying? Just non-stop combination, just non-stop. You can slow down. You can take the power out. Add power, take power out. You can slow down, but you can't stop. Okay. Just teaching them how to just let your hands go. David Benavidez is really good at that. Once he gets you, once he finally like in the second half of the fight, he start letting them hands go. You know what I'm saying? He start letting them hands go, and he's big, and that's a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So he's overwhelming. That's the best thing I can say about David Benavidez. I love the fact that he's overwhelming. He's gonna overwhelm you until he gets you out of there. You know what I'm saying? And his attitude, he got that dog. Like he's like, I just don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna fuck you up. Like that's his attitude towards every fighter. Like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? I love that about him. You know what I'm saying? It's gutter. You know what I mean? Uh, then on the other side you have Demetrius Andrade. Now I have been very high on Demetrius Andrade for a long time, and I am on the record saying that Canelo has ducked Demetrius Andrade. Both of the Charlo brothers has ducked Demetrius Andrade. Most people in the middleweight division from 54 up to 68 to where he's currently at now. Like he's currently at 68. From 54 to 68, Demetrius Andrade has been the most ducked fighter that I've ever seen in my life. He's been the most duck fighter I've ever seen. It's quiet as kept because he's not well marketed, and he kind of built up I ain't gonna say he built up, whatever the case may be, he has a bad reputation. He has a bad reputation amongst most people. People think he's trash. People think he's this, that, whatever, which doesn't even make any sense because, when he was an amateur, he was better than everybody. There's a lot of people that came up in the amateur ranks with Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman and Errol Spence and, you know what I'm saying, all these different fighters who came out in that era. He was better than all of them as an amateur. He was the top amateur in that class. He was better than all of them as an amateur. You know what I mean? And he fought most of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And the amateurs, and beat most of them dudes in the amateurs. When they got to the pros, I feel like, this is just my personal opinion. Like, they got to the pros and realized, you know what I'm saying, as long as he stays in, he's not a big name, we're going to stay away from him. You know what I mean? Because in the amateurs, man, he was beating all of us. So we ain't even going to get him that chance. And that's what I saw. I mean, I've watched this dude chase down the Charlos, chase down what's my man's name? Danny Jacobs, Golovkin, Triple G, Canelo. He's religiously called out Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Religiously called out the Charlos and Triple G and anybody from 154 to 168. So he desperately needs a name. He don't have no names on his record. And even when he did have, like when Billy Joe Saunders, that was kind of like the first chance of him stepping up fighting a big name. What happened? Billy Joe Saunders popped dirty. That fight got canceled. You know what I'm saying? People don't like, Demetrius Andrade has a very unique style. It's a very hard style to deal with. It's a very hard style to look good against. You know what I'm saying? He moves his feet very well. He covers distance incredibly well. He has a really, really high boxing IQ, and he got crack in both hands. He's definitely he's more athletic than Caleb Plant. You know, he does a lot of things way better than Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? He's a better fighter than Caleb Plant. So him against David Benevidez is going to be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not going to give my prediction right now. I'm not going to give my prediction right now who I think is going to win that fight. But I think there's a lot at stake with both of them, because whoever wins that fight is going to fight Canelo. Whoever wins that fight is going to fight Canelo. Demetrius Andrade, this is his time. He's either going to prove one or two things, right? He's either going to prove that this is his time or that he's past his prime. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately now he's getting this big fight, but he's on the other side of 30. Now, that really doesn't mean anything. Depending on the fighter, what you've been through in your career, how well you treated your body. 30, what is he, 36, 37, something like that. You know, he's on the other side of 30. I can't remember. I got to look it up. But he's on the other side of 30. You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't really had no challenges in the ring. So that could be a good thing. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to that fight. You know, I'll tell you that I'm rooting for Demetrius Andrade more than David Benevidez, just because I feel like David Benevidez still got time. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade, if he loses this fight, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because most people are going to write him off. People already been looking for an excuse to bury him in a certain category. So this is his chance to either get buried in a certain category or to rise to the occasion and tell the world, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's fighting for. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see what happens. I'll give my prediction a little later on as we get closer after the final press conference, like I always do. I am rooting for Demetrius Andrade over, I just think people have kind of kept Demetrius Andrade at arm's length for too long. You know what I'm saying? Too long. So we need to see him against, you know, some of these legitimate killers. You know what I'm saying? And he's been going from he's went from 54 to 68 chasing these names. So I'm excited for him finally getting his chance. If he beats David Benevidez, if he loses to Andre, he can still bounce back and get back on top of the game and still do what he's supposed to do. But if Andre loses, then you know, I don't know when he'll have another chance to prove himself. So he's either going to prove that this is his time, because this is his time. This is his first opportunity. He's been begging for this chance for years and years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? So this is his first opportunity to prove that he is everything that he say he is. So it's to prove that this is his time, or to show that he's past his prime. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Andrade, the best version of Andrade, can beat David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Can outbox him and outland and hit him with some things that's going to make him respect him. I think he's athletic enough to keep him off of him and to stay moving and to not get caught in the same traps that Caleb Plant did. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's talk about it. All right? Peace and love.